Beautiful human, I'm gonna drop some game today. I'm gonna drop some sauce. I wanna share with you the one video and how I use this video that I've generated millions of dollars with in the last few years. I'm gonna talk about why you need it, how to create it, and what to do with it once it is created and in the universe, how to promote it, how to drive traffic to it, how to make more money with it. So whether you are just starting out, whether you're at 20K a month and you're looking to scale acquisition, whether you're at 100K a month and things are starting to get more expensive with team and with ads, I wanna share a simple video asset that you can create today that will massively help you in getting clients with ease. So let's take it back. April 2018, I start in business. Brand new, I know nothing. And I sign up to Sam Ovens Consulting Accelerator. So at that time, there were a number of different strategies he was teaching for people like me at that stage, under 10K a month, to get to 10K a month. But one of the main things that he talked about was this idea of a VSL, a video sales letter. So I spent a bunch of time and energy creating this thing, but I had like no traffic to it. So like most of the people I was getting into my business as clients, they were referrals. Like no one's watching this video. So I was like, the video doesn't work. Then I met people and they were talking about Facebook groups and so on and so forth. So I was like, this VSL thing is kind of like nonsense. It's just like our thing. Well, fast forward, I tried all of these different strategies and they all worked to varying degrees. I made about $4 or $5 million through a Facebook group. And so for that period of time, I was like, Facebook groups are the best thing on the planet. But one of the things I started to notice was that it was getting harder and harder to get clients. I felt like a dancing monkey. It was like I had to like do 5 posts a week and do all these different interviews and video trainings. And these days, the things that I see that people have to do to get clients is just like astounding. Like they got to run a low ticket workshop every week or write 2 emails a day. All of those things can work, but I want to share what I discovered when I really doubled down on this idea that I learned from Sam in 2018. So I tried this throughout different stages of my career, having a VSL, and I never really got it to work until I can kind of combine these few ingredients. So in 2023, I'm getting all the clients at that time, and I'm making about 100K a month in profit, and I'm getting them all through Facebook profile. So literally my VA is like adding people, I'm posting content every day on my newsfeed and my stories, and then I'm doing like regular CTAs and people are DMing me and I'm like having conversations and I'm spending a lot of time in the DMs, but I'm not doing sales calls, so it feels like a massive improvement. And I'm making good money. But one of the things I notice is that people have to follow me for so long before they are ready to buy. And maybe you have that challenge as well. It's like people are like been reading 72 emails of yours, attending low ticket workshops and da-da-da. And ultimately, you need a faster way to warm them up from a 2 out of 10 in terms of their likelihood of working with you to a 7, 8, 9. And so I came back to this idea that Sam taught me in 2018. I was like, I'm gonna give this another shot. And so I created it and then I tweaked it and I found my own recipe to create a video asset that both generated leads and warmed leads up so then sales became easy. And when I implemented this in September of 2023, everything changed. So I call it the mini VSL because it's shorter than how a lot of these videos look for a lot of other people. Like sometimes you can opt in for these things and they're freaking 90 minutes long. And I just found that there's a sweet spot of like, if you can communicate what you need to communicate in 15 to 25 minutes, and you have this video asset that you can drive everyone to, then ultimately more people are actually going to watch it and consume it, which is the whole goal. Right? All of our attention spans are so fried that getting someone to like sit down and watch 90-minute videos is like near impossible these days. Then I combined it with something that I learned from Iman Gadzhi. So let me break this down. I created a video and I've realized that this video has to answer 2 big questions. And I learned this from Aristotle, right? I know I'm like referencing all these different people, but this all ties together, I promise. So Aristotle has this framework of persuasion, right? Ethos, pathos, and logos. Jordan Belfort in his sales book, and I know this guy's like a kind of scammy, slimy guy, but I really enjoyed his sales book. He talks about the 3 10s, the 3 10s that you need in order to make a sale. And I basically combined these 2 things to realize that like people need to feel, number 1, ethos is sold on you, the messenger. Number 2, pathos, they need to be sold on the message. And then number 3, they need to be sold on the solution. Well, the problem that most of us have is that if we're having any sales conversations whatsoever, we're typically talking to people who are not yet sold on us and not yet sold on our message or our worldview or our model or our mechanism, whatever it is you want to call it, your super fancy cool thing. And so you spend a lot of time on a phone or in the DMs trying to convince someone of something. And when you can get a video to do the teaching and the educating and the convincing and selling for you, then the last piece, logos, does this solution make sense for me, is a way easier conversation. So I created a video, it was very straightforward. It had some slides. At the start of it, I talked about who this is for, who this is not for. And then I basically shared my story because I knew they needed to be bought into me. And then I talked about the old way versus the new way, which then led into pathos. And so the old way in the video, I described as probably a lot of the things that the people watching the video were either doing or have tried and they didn't work. And then I talked about the new way as like the new way of getting clients or scaling, in my case, to 100K a month. And then the logos was like, if this video has been helpful, then simply send me a DM and we can have a chat about working together. When I uploaded this to YouTube, it dramatically changed the way that my business ran. I would get 10 to 15 clients a month. I then went to a wait list. When I would open the wait list, it was so easy. And all I had to do was drive traffic to this video. This is where the Iman Ghazi strategy came in. I noticed that Iman had one video on his YouTube that was a sales video, and it was selling, I think it was his $1,000 program. And then in the description of every other video, it pointed to this one VSL. Because if you remember me saying, when I first created a VSL, I had no traffic to it. And so the problem is people like create a video and they upload it somewhere or put it on a landing page, and then it like doesn't work, and they go, oh, it must just not work as a strategy. What I realized was, when someone comes into your world, you need to have every neon sign in your world pointing to this one video asset. So this is what I did, and this is how I set it up to work so damn well. In every description of every YouTube video, I would direct it to that one mini VSL. The PS on every email I'd send is PS, if you want to learn how to XYZ, go check out this video. Then when I would write a post, like maybe on Instagram these days with ManyChat, you can literally write a post, then you can do a PS, like if you want to learn how to XYZ, comment this keyword below, and then it automatically sends them the link. I also do it on stories. Then if you want to get really fancy and sophisticated, you can run retargeting ads. I wouldn't do cold traffic because it's like just too expensive to get people to opt in for stuff, cold traffic typically. But why I'm sharing this is because of all of the things that I have done and all of the things that I've observed that people do to get clients in 2025 and in the last few years. Most people have to be dancing bears, have to be the dancing monkeys, doing so much stuff all the time to convince people to work with them. They need to send so many emails, run so many ads, do so many workshops, run low ticket products and all of that, and they all work. But what I've noticed is that they basically all do the job of what a VSL is designed to do. When you have one key video asset that sells people on you, ethos, gets them to trust the messenger, and then pathos, it presents your mechanism or model in a way that people go, oh my gosh, that makes sense. I can see how that would solve my problem and help me get towards the outcome that I want. And then you present the logos as like, hey, reach out and we can have a chat about whether or not this works. And obviously you can get them to send a DM if you sell in the DMs, or book a call if you are selling via calls. When you make this one shift and then you point all attention to that one video, you start to wake up to inbound leads. When I made this shift, I started waking up to 5 to 10 people a day, reaching out to want to work with me. Now keep in mind, 2 years later, 18 months later, this video only has 10,000 views on YouTube. Now that might seem like a lot, but that's been up for 18 months, 10,000 views, but that has been responsible for hundreds of clients and millions of dollars. And it took 4 hours to shoot 18 months ago. I'm sharing this because there is a world this year where you do so much stuff to get clients, or there's a world where you spend some time creating a video asset that does the selling for you, and then you just do anything else, that any activity that you do online, you point people towards that, and you will start to create a well-oiled client acquisition machine. And I just wanted to share this because most people are trying to figure out what works to get clients, as if there's like so many secrets. And the secret is get people to trust you. The secret is get people to buy into your model. And the easiest way I've found to do that is have one video asset that does both of those things and then gives them a CTA to reach out to find out more about working with you. So, hoping this video has been helpful. And speaking of VSLs, if you want to check out mine, click the link below. Talk soon. Bye.